Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube, everybody out there in this music appreciation class? I'm Vince Fitzgerald in Group 2, and this is my interactive video for our group project on Harry Connick Jr., a very, very influential jazz musician, and one actually who, doing some research, I found I actually like a lot of his pieces. And one person who I'm sure he was inspired by would be Miles Davis, which is one of my favorites. I actually have on his shirt right now, which actually I'm a big fan of him. But in dealing with a couple of the social conditions, the question of did social conditions or economic issues influence the artist's music, and dealing and researching the social conditions that Harry Connick Jr. had to deal with in the 80s and 90s. Some things were that the countries began to go into a deep recession. The country's deficit was like 200 million, and unfortunately at the time, drugs had become heavily addictive, and there was an AIDS and HIV epidemic sweeping through the country in the 80s and 90s. So those were some of the things that were going on that were really affecting this country and having an effect on a lot of people. Fortunately for Harry Connick Jr., he did not have to deal with that. That did not influence his music, and he was able to play the music that he loved. He loved jazz. Being from New Orleans, that was the culture down there. So he learned very quickly what type of music basically he was accustomed to from where he was from in New Orleans or the Bayou. Uh, I think that the only trouble, according to the research I did, the only kind of trouble that Harry Connick Jr. got into was he brought a gun to an airport by mistake and got like 6 months probation, just stayed out of trouble, and ever since then there hasn't been any issues with him as far as law or crime. And it actually really makes me feel good to know that those social and economic conditions that were going on, the drugs, the epidemics, and the deficit, and just society as it was changing overall as a whole did not affect him, and he continued to make great music, which that's clear because he has had the most number one jazz albums ever in history out of anybody, which is like unheard of. So, just to wrap it up, I'm Vince Fitzgerald, and this is my response or my video response for the social and economic conditions that uh, possibly could have an influence on a musician, which thankfully they didn't on him. And I think that's about it.